Well, he's the man who has reignited the investigation into the Benghazi scandal.
I said, what's going on? He said, oh, we're getting attacked. And I said, how many? And he said, they're all over the compound. And I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. And I said, well, just keep fighting. I'm on my way.
That was a British survivor. Morgan Jones says his name and reputation are now under attack. Who is trying to keep him quiet?
And the other survivors as well. Senator Lindsey Graham joins us right now live. Good morning to you, Senator.
Good morning.
All right. You were on this program last week and you said you were going to hold up any of the president's appointments until you got the opportunity to talk to some of these survivors.
Right.
Give us an update.
Well, we're making a little bit of progress. The CIA has allowed a few of the survivors to be interviewed, the contractors working for the CIA, to be interviewed by the Intelligence Committee. That's coming up. Had a good discussion with the FBI director. Now, why do I want to talk to the survivors? There were about 6 or 7 Department of State people at the consulate when it was attacked. Did they ever indicate to anyone that there was a protest? And if the people on the ground never said there was a protest, they always called it a terrorist attack, where did the White House come up with this story about a protest? And I also would like to talk to survivors. Did they ever ask for help to reinforce the consulate before the attack? And how many times did they ask for reinforcements that night? You know, the one thing I think America needs to hear, did they believe that their government was going to come to help them when they were under attack? And when they found out their government was not coming to their aid, how did they feel? We need to hear it from them.
Great.
Senator, you wrote a letter to the White House, and they responded back on October 28th. What was their response?
Take a hike. I've written a letter to the President and to Secretary of State twice.
Yeah.
All I want is, I'm not trying to solve a crime here. I'm trying to find out, did the people on the ground during the attack ever say it was a protest? Did they ask for security weeks or months before the attack, and who turned them down? How can I go to the families and tell them that I know the story of Benghazi when we can't talk to the survivors? And here's the big story of Benghazi. How did Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama miss the rise of al-Qaeda in Libya when they were told constantly al-Qaeda flags are flying over Benghazi? How did this administration miss the fact that al-Qaeda was coming back in Libya and eventually killed 4 Americans?
Well, we're learning more and more. The president is very good at saying, I don't know. I don't know
right.
what's worse. He really doesn't know, or he's just saying he doesn't know. Tell me what's significant about this guy who used the pseudonym Morgan Jones being outed in the Washington Post as he comes forward with a different version of the reality on the ground that night.
Yeah, this is huge. He was in charge of the Libyan Guard Force, and he said to 60 Minutes the Guard Force was ill-equipped and not trained, and they could not protect the consulate, and he told people in the system that. He also said that the militia group that the State Department was counting on to defend the consulate in case of an attack was infested with al-Qaeda. So he really does destroy the narrative and creates an ominous scenario. He said he told that to people in the system, the Americans, till he got tired of hearing himself talk. Now, he also said he went to the compound and he found Chris Stevens' body at the hospital. The State Department leaked an incident report to the Washington Post where there's no mention of him going to the compound or going to the hospital trying to impeach his story that he gave to 60 Minutes. But what the State Department did not release is that he was interviewed by the FBI on 2 separate occasions where he claims to have told the FBI that he went to the compound, he found Chris Stevens' body at the hospital. This is a big deal. You can't use part of the file to impeach a person who's critical of the way you acted and withhold the rest. That's why I want all the information, because what they're doing here, President Obama said if you like your policy, you can keep it. Well, that turned out to be not true. They said there was a protest, not a terrorist attack. That turned out not to be true. This White House has a bad habit of telling stories that are not true, that are politically beneficial.
Can you imagine if we knew all these things before the election?
Can you only imagine, and this is very important, the idea that the Congress cannot independently interview the witnesses after they've been interviewed by the executive branch is a bad precedent, and that would stop oversight as we know it. We can't let this become the way you do business in the future.
Well, it sounds like finally some of the guys are going to be talking, and that's good news. Senator Lindsey Graham, keep on this, and we thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.